This entire neighborhood was underwater during Hurricane Harvey, so every single one of these houses has to be rebuilt. Now, many of the homes were originally built by Habitat for Humanity, and they've actually returned to help with the rebuilding process. And Audrey, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You have been here for a long time, haven't you?
About 10 years.
And who do you live with?
It's my daughter, 2 grandsons, and myself.
Okay. And so tell me about that night when the storm hit.
Well, during the storm, it rained like it normally does, but I was in my bed watching TV. My daughter came and said, hey, we need to go. And I was like, no, until I stepped out the bed and my feet touched the floor, and it was water. Then I panicked and said, okay, let's go.
Why did you think you could stay through a storm this size?
Because we've never had that much water in the neighborhood before. It normally rains, it's in the street, and it drains off. And I've never seen that much water, so until she actually opened the door and I seen it, that's when I realized we really need to go.
So you're going to go. The whole family's coming with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how much water are we talking?
Up to our chest.
Wow, that much, huh?
Yes.
So not a lot of water when you stepped out of bed, but a lot outside?
Yes, sir.
But that must have been terrifying.
It was, especially for my daughter, because my grandson at the time was 4 years old, 4 months old, and she had to kind of like literally have him above her head while we actually went through the water to get to safety.
So the whole family's going?
Yes, sir.
And you guys are now wading through this neighborhood in chest-high water?
Yes, sir. And the Army Reserve came and took us in trucks to our shelter.
And how long were you at the shelter?
The first shelter, we were there for 3, maybe 4 days. Then we got moved to a second shelter, and we was there for another 3 days.
So 2 shelters, and where are you now?
We're in a hotel. We're staying there until our home get fixed.
Temporary housing?
Yes, sir.
How long after you evacuated did it take you to come back to see the house?
2 weeks.
And when you came back, what did you find?
A disaster. Water still on the floor. A lot of the things turned over. Mold had been setting up on some of the furniture and stuff.
What is that like when everything's got to go?
You just take a deep breath, and you're grateful that you're okay, because that's materialistic things, and we can replace that, but you're grateful that you made it out and everybody is safe.
So what is the process for getting back in, the rebuild? What do you know about that?
I think they're doing the drywall, and they're going to help me to replace my appliances. And then the furniture is doing one room at a time, so we can come back home.
But you are coming home.
Oh, yes, we're coming home.
That brings a big smile to your face.
Yes, we're coming home.
All right, well, I know there are a whole bunch of volunteers inside. You want to go join them?
Yes.
Crew is already at work, and hey, look at these volunteers. Hey, boys.
This house is on its way. Originally had 2 to 2.5 feet of water. Came right about here, but they were really smart when they took out that original drywall. They took it out just up to this matching line here for the piece above it. It would be a lot easier to seam that in. Then they scrubbed all the studs and they disinfected it so no more mold.
Nice.
They also took out all the old fiberglass insulation that was in the wall, but they left it up in the top section. They first put this spun material on here, this fabric that's breathable, and they cut a hole in it. They put the hose that they're going to blow the insulation into it, and this fabric allows the air to rush in there, and the fiberglass insulation can be drawn in, and it can fill the bay nice and even.
All right, so we are all cleaned up and re-insulated, ready to go.
Right.
Got you some tools.